3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, I'm Crystal Kate Barcelona and I'm with Sheila Pril Barwarte and Colleen Grace Dagon. And we are the Group 4. So for today's presentations, we are here to discuss to you about the Leininger's theory of cultural care diversity and universality. She is Madeleine Leininger. Biography of Madeleine Leininger. Madeleine Leininger was a nursing theorist, nursing professor, and developer of the concepts of transcultural nursing. First published in 1961, her contributions to nursing theory involved the discussion of what it is to care. She was born on July 23, 1925 in Sutton, Nebraska. She received a diploma in nursing from St. Anthony's School of Nursing, Denver, Colorado in 1948. She gained her bachelor's degree in 1950 from St. Scholastica Benedictine College in Atchison, Kansas. In 1954, she earned her master's degree in psychiatric and mental health nursing from the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C. She was awarded with a doctorate degree in cultural and social anthropology from the University of Washington, settled in 1965. Madeleine Leininger was the founder and a central leader of the transcultural nursing who paid much attention to the systematic study of human caring within a transcultural theoretical and practice aspect. Moreover, she initiated the Transcultural Nursing Society, a global organization whose objective was to advance the study and practice of transcultural nursing care. The thought of transcultural nursing, the theory of cultural care, and care preservation as the core of nursing developed between the 1950s and 1960s was influenced by her early clinical work. Madeleine Leininger worked as a clinical mental health specialist in Child Guidance Center, which had mildly disturbed children of diverse cultural backgrounds. The central purpose of the theory culture care diversity and universality was to en masse document, interpret, and elaborate the aspect of culture care as a synthesized construct. The main thesis of this theory is that different cultures have different perspectives of practice care, yet there are some commonalities about care among all world cultures. In her theory, she asserts that culture is the broadest. Leininger's theory called for nurses to discover the differences and similarities in humanistic culture care. It is also possible to determine particular predominant culture care constructs from a holistic perspective. Therefore, it is critical to discover the ways and lives and care patterns of human beings or groups. This comparative information concerning culture or phenomena is unique, since it is a way of knowing about person and helping these individuals.
The four nursing meta-paradigm of Madeleine Leininger. First, Leininger considered nursing a discipline of the profession termed nursing. This cannot explain the phenomenon of nursing. Instead, care is the greatest epistemic and ontologic explanatory power to explain. Leininger views caring as the verb counterpart to the noun care and refers it to the feeling of compassion, interest, and concern for people. Second, the term person is too limited and culture-bound to explain nursing as the concept of person does not exist in every culture. Leininger argues that nurses sometimes use person to refer to families, group, communities, and collectivities, although each of the concepts is different in meaning from the term person. Third concept is health. Health refers to the state of well-being that is culturally defined, valued, and practiced that reflect the ability of individual or group to perform their daily rule activities and culturally express beneficial and pattern life ways. a state of restorative well-being that is culturally constituted, defined, valued, and practiced by individuals or groups and enables them to perform their daily lives. Fourth, Leininger uses the concept of environmental context, which include events with meaning and interpretation, given to them in particular physical, ecological, sociopolitical, and or cultural setting.
Before we proceed to discuss about the sunrise model that contains most of the major concepts of Leininger's theory, let us first discuss the two major constructs of her theory, which are the culture and care. So culture is defined as the learned, shared, and transmitted values, beliefs, norms, and lifeways of a particular culture that guide thinking, decisions, and actions in pattern ways. So culture is mainly the identity of an individual or group, and Leininger integrated it with care, which she defined as the abstract phenomena with expressions of assistive ways toward or about self or others. Now we'll be discussing about the major concepts and definitions of Leininger's culture care theory. So I'll be discussing this through the use of the sunrise model. The sunrise model can be used in a logical health assessment of a patient's need. It is the conceptual and visual guide of Leininger's culture care theory. So the first ray depicts the worldview of a person. So worldview refers to the way people look out on their world or universe to form a picture about life or the world around them. Worldview provides a broad perspective about one's orientation to life, people, or groups that influence care or caring responses, and guides one's decisions or actions, especially related to matters of health or well-being. The next level are the various factors such as the technological factor, religious and philosophical, kinship and social, cultural values and lifeways, political and legal, economic and educational factors. The second level depicts that a person is a product of their culture and is therefore influenced by their environment. These factors influences the care expression, patterns, and practices which in turn affect the health or well-being of a person. This is further expounded into two types of health system, the generic or folk system and the professional system. Folk system relies on the client's traditional beliefs and practices to provide assistance and facilitative acts on the client's well-being. And in contrast, the professional care system are the cognitively learned and formal professional care knowledge through educational institutions in order to give facilitative acts on the client based on his or her need. At this level, the nurse acts as a bridge between the two systems in order to meet the client's biological, psychological, and cultural health needs of the patient. That in the sunrise model includes the culture care universality, culture care diversity, ethic, and culturally congruent care. The culture care is defined as the learned and transmitted values, beliefs, and patterned lifeways that assist, support, facilitate, or enable an individual or a group to maintain their well-being. It is the synthesis of the two major constructs, which are the culture and care. The similarities found in the culture care is called culture care universality, while the differences in meanings, patterns, values, and lifeways that are related to supportive human care expressions is called the culture care diversity. The next major concept are the emic and ethic. Emic are knowledge gained from direct experience, and it is generic or folk knowledge and is applied in the folk health system, while ethic refers to the stranger or outsider views that interpreted values about a cultural phenomenon. These are most often the case for healthcare professionals. And finally, the culturally congruent care is the major goal of the culture care theory. It is defined as the assistive, supportive, and facilitative acts or decisions made specifically to fit with a client's institutional cultural values, beliefs, and life ways to provide meaningful, beneficial, and satisfying healthcare services.
Application of Leininger's theory of cultured care, diversity, and universality. Leininger's theory is to provide care measures that are in harmony with an individual or group's cultural beliefs, practices, and values. The theory of culture care, diversity, and universality has guided the provision of nursing care for meaningful and beneficial client outcomes. The theory is highly useful, applicable, and essential to nursing practice, consultation, education, leadership, research, and administration. Concept of care as the central focus of nursing and the basis for building nursing knowledge and its application to practice is essential to advance culturally congruent nursing knowledge and care practices. The theory of culture care, diversity, and universality supports a sound, culturally and socially responsible discipline and profession to meet the care and health needs of a multicultural world.
So the major assumptions of the theory of culture care includes care is the essence and the central dominant, distinct, and unifying focus of nursing. The next one says that humanistic and scientific care is essential for human growth, well-being, health, survival, and to face death and disabilities. The next one says that care is essential to curing or healing because there can be no curing without caring. This assumption was held to have profound relevance worldwide. Culture care is the synthesis of the two major constructs, which are the culture and care, that guide the researcher to discover, explain, and account for health, well-being, care expressions, and other human conditions. Culture care expressions, meanings, patterns, processes, and structural forms are diverse, but some commonalities or universalities exist among and between cultures. This is defined in the culture care diversity and the culture care universality. The next one says that culture care values, beliefs, and practices are influenced by and embedded in the worldview, social structure factors, for example, the religion, philosophy of life, kinship, politics, economic, education, technology, and cultural values, and the ethno-historical and environmental context. The next one says that every culture has generic, lay, folk, naturalistic, or mainly emic knowledge and usually some professional care to be discovered and used for culturally congruent care practices. The next one says that culturally congruent and therapeutic care occurs when culture care values, beliefs, expressions, and patterns are explicitly known and used appropriately, sensitively, and meaningfully with people of diverse or similar cultures. Leininger's three theoretical modes of care offer new, creative, and different therapeutic ways to help people of diverse cultures. The ethno-nursing research method and other qualitative research paradigmatic methods offer important means to discover largely embedded, covert, epistemic, and ontological culture care knowledge and practices. The last one says that transcultural nursing is a discipline with a body of knowledge and practices to attain and maintain the goal of culturally congruent care for health and well-being.